Congratulations to the class of 2021. Look at how far you've come, and look at all that you've been through. When we consider that you have lived through a pandemic and you still achieved your goals, you have earned the right to stand and take a bow. I came into your life on May 1st and we spent 6 weeks together. And even though we did not share space in the UFA building, I will treasure the pleasure of actually meeting you all face to face during the June celebrations when you came in to pick up your gift bags. Scobie had prepared me for the awesomeness that's you, and you certainly did not disappoint. I want to take this opportunity to remind you of what Ursula Franklin once said. She said that she hopes that the endeavors being made in the school to build knowledge and understanding will extend out into the broader community, and that the community in turn will enrich and support the goals and dreams of the school. Graduates, you are now UFA alumni, and the expectation is that as you spread your wings and take your various places in society, that you will reach back and help us to continue to support the goals and dreams of Ursula Franklin Academy. Thank you. Let me take this opportunity to welcome you all to our commencement ceremony. We're pleased that you have taken the time to join us today, albeit virtually. For the next few minutes, we will hear from our past principal, Sherilyn Scobie Edwards, as she speaks directly to our graduates. Then we will hear the valedictorian message from Anna Hillier and Masad Haidari. This will be followed by the procession of our graduates. As a reminder to our graduates, if you did not pick up your diploma, composite, and any awards on December 15th and 16th, please be aware that on January 3rd, 4th, and 5th, you will be able to come by the school between 3 to 5 p.m. to pick up your packages. Thank you.
Greetings, Ursula Franklin Academy. It really is an honor to be here to celebrate with you, but I acknowledge that it's not in person, so it might feel a little bit strange. Congratulations to the graduating class. You did it. You're here. High school is officially over. And while this is not the celebration that I know that you'd hope for, it's really important that we take the time and opportunity to celebrate you, to acknowledge you, and just to really be here and gather as you take this next step. When I think about all that you had to overcome last year, the scanning in and scanning out, in class one day, at home the next, looking at the news to determine what your next day or week would look like, I think if there's any one group of people who can overcome any obstacle or barrier, truly, it is you. Last year, I was always blown away by your leadership. And I say this because in other spaces, when I talk to colleagues at other schools, they would say things like, school doesn't really feel the same. And that's true. We're in the midst of a pandemic. However, they would say things like, I don't feel like there's spirit in the building. When they asked me about my experience, I would say, well, there's a lot of spirit in the building at Ursula Franklin Academy. And it's because of you, graduates, and your ability to make sure that school still felt amazing. You managed to organize extracurricular activities. You had PowerPoints for the news flash. You had lent your powerful voices to news opportunities and newsletters and announcements. And you always made sure that you gave us something to smile about, whether it be jokes on the announcements or the songs that you would play. I'm constantly blown away and inspired by all that you were able to accomplish in the midst of a year that was tricky. I want to say that I am proud of you, I'm inspired by you, and it truly was an honor to share space with you last year. It is my hope that one day, that you're able to gather together and celebrate the way that you would have hoped for. So yes, that might look like getting together in 5 or 10 years' time and having a graduation party, despite the fact that you graduated a long time ago, and really taking a moment in person to acknowledge this day where you all can see one another and say, wow, we did it. And when you think about all that you did, you really, really did it. You accomplished so much. So congratulations. I'm sorry that I can't be there in person with you, but I am so proud of you and really, truly inspired by who you are, who you're going to become. And I have no doubt that I will continue to read about you and learn about all the things that you're doing as you continue to impact and influence the world. Have a great celebration today. Take care.
Butterflies are some of the world's most fascinating animals. If we take a closer look at the metamorphosis of a butterfly, we can see that it's not exactly an easy process. They start off as small, adorable caterpillars, but then transform into something truly beautiful as they spread their wings. Good afternoon, family, friends, and the graduating class of 2021. My name is Masad Haidari.
And my name is Anna Hillier, and we are honored to speak on behalf of this graduating class. We're here today to express our gratitude for our time spent at Ursula Franklin Academy over the past 4 years, as well as reflect on our long but rewarding journey.
Firstly, congratulations to all of our graduates. Each and every one of you have come such a long way and worked tremendously hard to get to this point. Please give our graduates a round of applause, as they definitely deserve it. As I looked through our yearbook and our grade Instagram, I saw how far our grade had actually come, and it made me reflect on our UFA journey. Throw back to September of 2017. It was a hot summer day, and we were wearing our freshly ironed UFA uniform, sitting awkwardly in our homeroom classes. And oh boy, it was incredibly intimidating, not gonna lie. There were butterflies flying everywhere around in our stomachs, and we had so many questions racing through our minds. Questions like, how do I make friends? How long is this math class? And of course, the most burning question of all, what does the grub mean in grub day? Question I still don't know the answer to after all these years. There was this weird tension in our homeroom classes as we were not ready to hop out of our tiny little shells and leap into the exciting world that was high school. And looking back, it was a pretty funny moment in our journey. We were plopped into an entirely new world filled with potential, and we were ready to grow. All of that potential was eventually fulfilled, just like how even the most fantastic butterflies started off as small little eggs. There are many key events at UFA that helped shape our experience and define our metamorphosis.
I can also vouch that first coming to UFA was scary and intimidating. For one, it was back when we didn't have good uniform style, or maybe for most of us before we realized how to get away with not wearing uniform to school. I'm so sorry, admin. It was back when we thought not knowing the UFA chant or the 5 UFA values was punishable by law. But more seriously, it was like being a butterfly egg that hatches to become a caterpillar, facing a brand new world and having no clue what would come next. Yet, in a community like UFA, the unknown of the future is part of the fun. Going to retreat, who would have ever predicted being chased by then strangers who had your name on a clothespin, or that very interesting mosh pit situation at the retreat dance, or even coming together to watch the burning of an UFA sign. And retreat was just the start of our being introduced to what makes the UFA community so unique. Being part of this group of people meant having a place to grow and explore. I'm sure it's every caterpillar's dream. We quickly realized what a unique place we found ourselves in, not just for its quirks like nut breaks or grub days, but for the community and all that we share. Through this caterpillar stage, we were free to engage in things that make us passionate, far beyond the rote academics we've been led to believe is all school's good for, which it isn't. Maybe for you that came from joining a ton of clubs like Student Council or PALS or FAA, possibly biking with your team during Inside Ride, painting in a Bob Ross Wednesday session, or trying to solve the issue somehow of climate change or tsunamis, or in my case, birds flying into windows for your grade 9 integrated project. But one thing's for certain, that all the things that make our community great is because we ourselves made it. Of course, we've had an incredibly supportive community of teachers, admin, and family that were always ready to help us learn and become our best selves, but that often look like enabling us to be independent of them. To this day, I'm still so surprised by how much initiative everyone is ready to put to good use. how excited everyone is to do good things for other people. Big and small, that's certainly been reflected in our 4 years at UFA.
And then COVID-19 hit. Nobody would have predicted that the rest of our high school experience would have been robbed from us in a random Thursday in March. I distinctly remember learning about the moment school was being shut down. I was on my way home and my phone was blowing up from all these messages. Everyone was so excited that March break was essentially being extended by an additional 2 weeks. Boy, how wrong were we? Those 14 days soon turned into 14 weeks, and then they soon turned into 14 months. And it's hard to believe that much time had actually passed by. It was rough transitioning from a completely normal life to a life behind a screen, and turning that into the new normal. That, paired with the hard work required by grade 12 and the quadmester system, didn't make life any easier. There were mounds of homework every day, world record speedrunning of courses, and cut curriculum content galore. It truly felt like we were stuck in a cocoon, social distancing from the world, and we were waiting for everyone to go back to normal so that we could spread our wings and be free once again. But despite all this, we persevered and made it through the year. We made the best out of our circumstances by keeping in touch with each other through FaceTime and even playing some virtual games. And thank goodness for the Wednesday program, as there were some awesome sessions that helped us relax and de-stress when we needed to. If anything, these tough times proved that we could handle anything thrown our way. These moments made us stronger and more determined to succeed in our future. Grade 12 truly felt like a road to victory, and the pandemic was nothing but a hurdle in our way.
And we certainly proved victorious, because look where we are, even if we are online right now. But only a few short months ago, we finally finished high school. As tempting as it was to isolate and curl up in our cocoons, our ability to come together as a community persevered, even with the barrier of computer screens and physical distancing and 50 different school model changes. With our graduation, we emerged from the cocoon as adult butterflies. I am so incredibly proud of us all. It hasn't been easy, and every one of you deserves to celebrate the hardships you've overcome. We may be leaving UFA, but everything we've learned here will always stay with us. Here we've been exposed to what justice, hard work, and community looks like, where our high school experience, even the struggles, are the reason for who we are and what we'll fly off and achieve. We hope every one of you makes the most of your opportunities and cherishes the new, exciting people you find yourself surrounded by. If there's one thing we've learned these 4 years that we must never forget, is that time spent with each other, with our communities, is precious. So thank you peers, teachers, family, and admin for making our high school experience as best as it could be. And once again, an enormous congratulations to the graduating class. I have no doubt you're well prepared to go out and face the twists and turns of the world. As you continue with your exciting post-secondary activities, please don't forget all that you've accomplished and all that you deserve to celebrate. Congratulations, class of 2021.